Yesha, your group is.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so sharing. Everybody stay on camera. Apurva, Sudhanshu, Ujjwal, Rishabh, Himanshu. Anshika. Are all group members there, Yesha?
Yes, ma'am.
Abhinash, you part of this group or
Yes, ma'am. I'm part of this group.
okay? Sushant, are you? No, na. So can
No,
you
ma'am.
keep time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Shall we start?
Some echo at your end, Anubhav.
Ma'am, can we start? Yeah. So, good afternoon, everyone. So, we are group 3. We are going to present on the movie Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. The movie basically means you only live once. करो वो जो आपके दिल चाहे. Next slide, please. So, let me start with the introduction of my team members. Avinash, Anubhav, me, Mausam, Pratik, Sakshi, Vidhi, Vyang, and Yesha. So the movie basically revolves around three main characters. One is of Hrithik Roshan playing as Arjun, Farhan Akhtar as Imran Qureshi, Abhay Deol as Kabir Dewan, and the another lead characters pair of Katrina Kaif playing as Laila, Kalki playing as Natasha Arora, and Nazaruddin Shah as Salman Habib. Next slide, please. So starting with the summary of the movie. So the movie is directed by Zoya Akhtar, followed up her 2009 feature debut. It is a semi-comedic road movie about the three long-term friends Kabir, Arjun, and Imran, who finds their life transformed during the ultimate adventure vacation. 6 months after meeting Natasha, Kabir asks for a hand in marriage. But before he bids the single life farewell, he convinces his two best friends, Imran and Arjun, to join them on their vacation they have planned during their college. And over the course of next 3 weeks, each of them will pick extreme sport they have always wanted to try, and remaining two will come along their ride without any question asked. And somewhere along the way, Kabir, Imran, and Arjun discovered the importance of life every day to its fullest, comforting their greatest fear and breaking out their everyday routines. Next slide will be presented by Yesha.
Thank you, Mosam. I would like to take few points of rational and irrational. The first one is इंसान को डिब्बे में सिर्फ तब होना चाहिए जब वो मर चुका हो. This is when Arjun thinks about his life while gazing at the stars with Leila and tells her that she appears to be really free and living her life to the fullest and not living a boxed living. She replies him that only when one is dead they should be in a box. With this, she teaches us that we all have one life with us and that we should try to live it to the fullest before it falls off. The next points will be taken by Sakshi.
Thank you so much, Chesha. The next dialogue is अपने काम को अपनी लाइफ के साथ कंफ्यूज मत करो. तुम्हारा काम तुम्हारी लाइफ नहीं, सिर्फ उसका एक हिस्सा है. Lala speaks to Arjun, which means Katrina Kaif speaks to Hrithik Roshan, workaholic self, and tells him that work is only a part of his life, not his entire existence. It is a dialogue that resonates and resemble with most of the workaholic millennials, and this left a deep impact on everyone. The next dialogue is Seize the day, my friend. पहले इस दिन को पूरी तरह जियो, फिर 40 के बारे में सोचो. Personally, this is one of my favorite dialogue, which means like it gave a very important message that the film that the film gave us, that it is simply to let go and seize every day like it is your last day, which means the best way to live, to be honest. Thank you. Next slide will be taken by Abhishek.
Yeah, thank you, Sakshi. So next rational point will be इंसान का कर्तव्य होता है कोशिश करना, कामयाबी नाकामयाबी सब उसके हाथ में है. So what exactly makes this a rational point is इंसान का कर्तव्य होता है कोशिश करना. That means we will have to keep on trying and trying. We will keep on trying. No matter how many times we fall, we have to get back on our feet and keep on trying. We cannot cry about that we are failing or we have failed. Until we have tried numerous times and we have succeeded, we can't cry about it. So we just have to keep, like, get up and get on with it. So we have to keep on trying and trying. And the next, I personally choose this one. The next one is कभी paycheck मिलते वक्त तुम्हारे आंखों में आंसू आए हैं. So what exactly this means is, like, when you receive your first paycheck, did you cry? Like, did you feel like it was worth it? Like the hard work, the sweat and blood, everything you did, was it worth it? And if you cried, it doesn't mean that you are weak or anything. People cry just because doesn't mean that they are weak. People cry because they have been strong enough for too long. So it is okay to express yourself. It is okay to cry. It is okay to be, like, emotional, and you have to express yourself. You should express yourself. I understand that people may not be like that much expressional to everyone, but you have to express yourself, because the pain which we hold within ourselves, it becomes agony with time. So release your pain, release your stress, share, express. That way you will all live happily. Thank you. The next will be carried out by Yasha.
Thank you, Avinash. The next is Irrational, the very first point, which is Diamond Biscuit song. This song got so famous, like everyone remembers this song when it's played, just like washing powder Nirma. He sings this song while talking to the bag, which he named it as Bagwati, which is totally irrational, as no one talks to a bag and gives name to it and sings the song. So for me, this point was very irrational. As in, this song is very irrational to me. So the next point will be taken by Sakshi.
Okay. The next one is, अब कितनी बार sorry बोलना पड़ेगा? According to me, this is considered as irrational one, because we all do mistakes and we have been on the other end of it many times. But जिंदगी ना मिलेगी दोबारा taught us that we should always learn to forgive people for their mistakes, especially if it is someone that you love the most. Thank you. Next slide will be taken care by Vihang.
Thank you, Sakshi. The last irrational dialogue is, अगर बैंक में 1000 करोड़ हो तो एंटरटेनमेंट के लिए बीवी की क्या जरूरत है? I personally feel this is this is completely irrational and absurd, because in any situation you cannot compare money with any individual. You cannot compare any human being with money or on any grounds. It is very inhuman to do so. A wife is your companion. She is going to be there in your ups and downs. You should look at her as your rock and constant support. No amount of money can get you the peace and love which any wife can provide. Next slide, please, Mosam. Now, the movie we have chosen to compare is Dil Chahta Hai, which I personally feel is of same genre. So in Dil Chahta Hai, basically, and now let me explain the basic idea of the movie. As being millennials, we all have friends and we all enjoy their company. But sometimes due to our personal commitments, we struggle with maintaining the friendship and choose such paths which create differences between friends. It can either be your personal life or professional. So when you start living without your friends, at that time, it makes you realize their importance. This film is deeply rooted in what it was trying to show. Honest representation of three boys and their friendship. It's aged really well because it was honest to its surroundings, which still works. The friction in the friendship is relatable. All of us know a Samir who's confused and naive to pushed around by his partner. Every group has a Sid, the quiet artsy guy, and Akash and Sid's followed was beautifully done in this movie. And in Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, it basically teaches you that your friends and family are your real assets. Many times we get confused and we are not sure how to move further in life. we don't have the guts to take decision in our life. In such situations, a true friend will always help you to take a right decision because a true friend knows you inside out. He knows what you want. That's how he will make you feel confident and help you to clear vision. This movie makes you deal with your own demons. Ritik's jadedness made me have a conversation with myself on how we all keep postponing spending time with people because other things take priority, and how friendship is the most underrated of all relationships. The bullfighting scene was such a beautiful metaphor. When I look back when I'm about to die, the flashbacks I'll remember will consist only of my experiences, not my awards. There's an English saying, you just live once, but if you live it right, once is enough. That's what ZNMB echoes. Thank you. And I would like Vidhi to continue.
Thank you, Veha. So, when I saw the comparison between Dil Chahta Hai and Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, these two movies are superb, wonderful, and completely irrational. It was difficult for us to find irrational in Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. Such a positive note they have taken in every point. Even some things are irrational in there, but they have ended it in such a rational note that we can't even take it as a whole rational thing. So we took other movie, so we can compare and put out some irrational points in front. So in Dil Chahta Hai, the love life which is shown between three of the people is really irrational, because in the last scene of the movie also, the friendship which these three people show is very wonderful in the movie. But in the last scene of Dil Chahta Hai, there's a marriage scene of where Preeti Zinta was getting married on her marriage day. Suddenly, in the last scene, Amir Khan pops up on the marriage day and proposes in front of everyone, which is stupid as well as irrational in the real life. No one can ever do this thing. When I compared it, everything in Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, unhappily married life of Kabir and Natasha is one of the thing which is irrational, because not irrational in purpose of that, but when we go into marriage life, many ups and downs comes. You can be different personalities in a relationship, but which the movie shows is that they both were in the relationship, then they got married, but then they get separated. This is the whole scenario which has been shown, which is a little bit irrational to me. Next is dominating nature of Natasha. Natasha, the wife of Kabir, who was dominating, that was the main reason their marriage was separated in the end. She was dominating and she was frustrating all enough that the relationship didn't go well. She was not understanding. Even in their bachelorette, she just pops up and doubts on her husband and many more things. Also, another thing in Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, which is irrational, is too much of workaholic enthusiasm in Arjun. He didn't took his life too seriously till the time he met Katrina in the movie. He already focused it on over work and work and work. Work was his priority and nothing else. So this was one another irrational thing in the movie. Also, in Dil Chahta Hai, there were ego issues between the friendship. There was a one scene where they slapped each other, where they got separated in their friendship, and after many years they didn't see each other, and there was a very of ego between two friends, so they didn't come up and talk easily. That was a lot complication in their friendship at that point. So I think that point we can take it as irrational. Other than these two movies are completely rational ones. So next slide would be carried out by Anubhav. Thank you.
Thank you, Vidhi. The next slide is the review of the movie. So basically, when we say Bollywood, the first thing that's come in our mind is romance. We die over rubbish and overrated rom-coms, overrated rom-com. But when it comes to actual sensible movie, we rarely notice. Jindagi Na Milegi Dobara is a movie that every youngster need to watch. It's not just a movie where three rich people travel lavish location and then come back. The main theme of the movie is to inspire people to overcome their fear of accepting your inner voice, fear of what people think when you take a decision of your life, fear of, in fact, living your life on your own terms and to do what your heart says. Through a road trip in Europe, three friends rekindle their lost friendship, regain strength, celebrate life, and then learn that you only live once. And trust me on this, after you watch this movie, you might die for insight for going on a road trip with your friends, or do you have never done, or do what you have never done before, and get inspired by Farhan Akhtar's poetry, written actually by Javed Akhtar. One of my poetry is in next slide. Cue.
दिलों में तुम अपनी बेताबियां लेके चल रहे हो तो जिंदा हो तुम। नजर में ख्वाबों की बिजलियां लेके चल रहे हो तो जिंदा हो तुम। हवा के झोंकों के जैसे आजाद रहना सीखो, तुम एक दरिया के जैसे लहरों में बहना सीखो। हर एक लम्हे से तुम मिलो, खोले अपनी बाहें, हर एक पल एक नया समा देखिए। जो अपनी आंखों में हैरानियां लेके चल रहे हो तो जिंदा हो तुम। दिलों में तुम अपनी बेताबियां लेके चल रहे हो तो जिंदा हो।
Over to you, Vidhi. Thank you.
Thank you, Anubhav. So this was the ending of the thing, and we took this poetry from the movie because this was the most inspiring, rational plus irrational poem. If you think, it can be both of the aspects. This whole poem was whole piece of inspiration in the movie. In this, it is written that "To Zinda Hu Tum" title the poem has. This means that if you're doing something, if you're living your day, if you're having anxieties, or if you're going through something, or if you are into something, if you're not feeling okay, it is all okay. You're still alive, you can still live, and you can still conquer and come back. So, this was a piece which inspires a lot. But if we go with the lyrics of the poem, they're all irrational because whatever it is written, it is a hypothetical condition where in this poem is written where they three of the friends were sitting when they did the scuba diving and they come out. There was a peace, there was a silence in the movie, that scene, and the three of them were conquering their fears one by one and they were enjoying that moment and they were having it. So this was the poem which we took in respect of both irrational and rational. At the end, thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us this opportunity. Actually, this movie is superb and we watched it many times and it's wonderful to have all of you with me in this project. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Group, very beautifully done. In fact, please give them a big hand. Yes, everybody, proper big hand.
Thank you, everyone.
This movie
Thank you,
definitely
everyone.
is a masterpiece and it gives very beautiful message, and I think you all brought that message out very well, the rational and the irrational part also. Audience, some inputs from audience now.
Ma'am, I really like how Vyang beautifully put that life partner वाला quote कि कितना भी पैसे आ जाए but एक life partner की जगह नहीं ले सकता. I really like that part.
Yeah, yes, that was well explained. That point was also very nicely brought out कि भाई ये irrational जैसा ही statement है that they kind of included in the movie. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. They had a very keen observation because this is a movie where you actually can't find irrational because that movie is upon friends, and when it comes to friends, it's very difficult to get those things out. But they at least brought three irrational beliefs that were actually an irrational one. So yeah, that is a very keen observation they did from, and the comparison was also very nice.
Yes, yes.
Even the last part of that poem wala, that clip was also a good move because that was like giving the vibes of the whole movie in few seconds, so it was like a cherry on the cake, I believe, in their performance.
Yeah, that was very well thought and very nicely put at the end to just portray that message very well. Definitely. Anybody else in the audience? There is this emotional angle, like, some kind of a rational belief or some kind of message that a movie wants to give. And I think the way you made the presentation, you made us all feel that thing. So you put us in that emotional zone.
Ma'am, the quote was also very good कि हमें जिंदगी सिर्फ एक ही बार मिलती है, जो विहान ने बोला. And you live it once, Mother.
And ma'am, I believe the awesome writing of Mr. Akhtar actually was at its best in this particular film. In fact, this film is one of my inspiration. वो स्टेकेशन वाले के लिए this film was my actual inspiration. कि देख के हाँ जाए.
I would like to appreciate the team, the way they communicated. So that's a very amazing thing that they have given us that emotion in the movie through the way they communicated. I think if there wasn't a good communication, then I don't think that we would be so emotionally in that zone.
Exactly. So though that is what the purpose was, the presentation was to give that sense of that message, that positive vibe that this movie stands for, giving the sense of that to us. And you did it very successful. So thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone.
In this in chat, this is the guy I was talking about. His name is, his YouTube channel का name is only Desi. Check out. ये वो जो last आपने 3 Idiots movie.
Yes, ma'am. I know. Yes, ma'am. I know.
Just check
Now
them
I
out.
remember.
I also know.
अभी
Only
किया है ना,
Desi.
सब देखो, बहुत मजा आएगा. It's like hilarious it is. This is 3 Idiots का उसने किया. मतलब 3 Idiots, it was a movie that I definitely thought कि कुछ irrational है, पर इतना कुछ निकल सकता है. That was definitely. I mean, and you read comments in his YouTube channel. Like people have like considered him as somebody who has like really very good sense of humor, such a beautiful observation skills, or the way he delivers. It's awesome.
उसका वो बागबान वाला वीडियो भी अच्छा था. बागबान के लिए उसने क्या था?
हम दिल के
revisit.
सनम, परदेस. I mean, I have watched all his
Yes,
work.
ma'am, he made the revisit of all the old movies.
Yes, and hopefully he keeps making it because he does it very well. So check this out. यहाँ से आपको काफी पता चलेगा कहाँ कहाँ irrationality है अपने बॉलीवुड में. Okay, next group. कौन है अभी? गौरव, your group.
Yes, ma'am.
So can I start now?
Please start, and I need somebody to keep time. Who will keep it? Anubhav, कैमरा पे आओ वरना तुम्हारा presentation cancel है. कैमरा पे.
Ma'am, I'll keep time.
अनुभव ले अनुभव keep time. अनुभव कैमरा पे आके time रखो. हाँ, हो ना आप उधर के चले गए हो?
Ma'am, Anubhav went to washroom.
Okay. मौसम, can you please keep time? और next time मुझे remind करो, अनुभव को बुला लो, जो भी कोई है उसको बुला लो. Next presentation में उसी को रखना है time. देखो आ गया हो. अनुभव time रखो, 15 minutes. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So a very good afternoon to you, Section Q, and a very good afternoon to you, ma'am. This is Akriti Jaswal with all my fellow mates named as Apurva Chandra, Sushant Tambi, Gaurav Thakurata, Dhanashri Kumeria, and Rajiv Biswas is going to present you the movie, The Intern. This is one of the movies that I came across where, next slide, where Annie Hathaway playing a role of Jules and Robert De Niro playing a role of Ben. They both are protagonists of this movie, with Jojo Kushner playing the role of daughter of Jules, that is Paige, and Anders Holm as Matt, who is the husband of Jules. So the Intern movie was directed by Nancy Meyers in the year 2015, which has received tremendous awards. Next page, next slide. Which has received tremendous awards during the past years, like the Broadcast Film Critics Association's Award in 2016 and the Jupiter Awards 2016 and many more. They even got 7.1 ratings all over the world. So this movie will definitely add value to each and everyone's life, as it proves that there is no age to work, as there is no one to stop you from working if you have a willing to work. So basically, next slide. So basically, this is a story of a 70-year-old widower, Ben Whitaker, a retired executive from phone book companies. He applies to a senior citizens internship programs in a fast-growing e-commerce fashion startups in Brooklyn, whose the company he applied was has a founder named as Jules Austin. She is a founder and a CEO of that company. So firstly, she agreed to hire senior interns in the company, but lately she rejected the proposal by saying by seeing Ben, as she believes that Ben's old age would make his work knowledge outdated and useless to the company. But Jules was asked to train Ben, but though she did not like Ben, so she used to give him no work during the first week. But once it happens that Ben himself decided to organize a messy desk, which was full of junk files, which made him impress everyone. He also convinced the driver to take off from his work so that he can drive Jules home, because Ben do not have any work to do, so he thought कि कहीं से भी कोई work ले लूं जिससे मैं impress कर सकूं Jules को. And then Ben was also an ethical person, basically, who stays in office, and he till Jules complete her work, and he even tells his colleagues as well, one should not leave the office before the boss leave. During that very day, he also proved himself that he is also a great learner, as he tried to learn how to operate Facebook. And then he also revealed that once worked in very same building for 24 years. He also provided his colleagues to stay at his home after his colleagues got evicted by his parents. He also proved his commitment towards Jules, where he breaks into the house of his mother, Jules' mother, to delete an embarrassing emails, and also rescued from arresting. Ben also gets to know Jules' family, her husband's maid, who gave his own career to stay-at-home dad for his daughter, Paige. However, the marriage started breaking apart as the couples grow so distant, as Jules was not able to give time to their families for their work. So even Jules get to know Matt's extramarital affairs with his mother of Paige's friends. She decided to give up her post of CEO to someone outside the company, and his investors also felt that she is unable to cope with the workload that she is going through. So while on a business trip to San Francisco to interview a potential CEO candidate, Jules reveals this to Ben, that she knows much about Matt's cheating on Jules, but she did not want to reveal this in front of Matt, because she was not ready to deal with the situation. So with this thought, she hired a CEO. And after coming back from the Brooklyn, she went to the Ben's home, where Ben greatly encourages Jules to think about how much her decisions to hire a CEO can change her authority, and how her creativity may be hindered. And even he also reminded her about her passion towards the company. And lately, Matt unexpectedly drops in the office and urges her by saying sorry, as he was so ashamed and wants to support her dream. So Jules went looking for Ben. She wanted to tell him that she has changed her mind, and she found it that Ben was enjoying his Tai Chi exercises group. So she finally lets her relax and joins the Tai Chi exercises herself. So basically, this movie tells us that how experience and wisdom always play a significant role in a working environment. The movie revolves around the bonding of these two actors, and how calm and composed Ben used to take care of his assistant as an assistant to Jules. This movie moves forward with a lot of twists and turns and some comicals, while the other brimmed with intense emotions as well. The most amazing part of the whole plot is that old Ben smiles, which maintains the positive vibes of the movie throughout. So thank you, and over to you, Rajiv.
Thank you, Akriti. Now comes to the rational belief. Although there are so many rational beliefs in this movie, but we cherry picked some of them. So first one is stay-at-home father. In this movie, Jules Austin is a founder and CEO of the About the Year, and her husband Matt gave up his own career to be stay-at-home dad to take care of her daughter Paige. So as his wife could fulfill her dreams. So their movie is portraying that rational belief. In this 21st century, it is cool to be stay-at-home father. Coming to the next slide. Yes. focusing on the small detail. Like Jewel Austin care deeply about so many things and in her life, and it drives the culture of the company and her family. Ben's observation of her working folks in the warehouse thought how to properly display the clothes in the boxes reflect the CEO attention to detail, and more importantly the deep passion and the commitment that is she has for the company and its reputation. Coming to the next slide. Appreciate people for their hard work. Ben Richard is one of those invaluable valuable employees who helps to create a great place to work. His support is co-colleague in his way, and he can takes time to find out makes them happy. And like when he clean the garbage decks of the office, and also Ben helps people to get recognized for their contribution and bring a sense of calm and experience to our office environment. Like we saw that when Ben makes Jules realize about the Becky, who is the Jules overall assistant with untapped abilities, and also make her notice that other colleagues like Jason, David, Lewis at all of this. So that's all from my side. Remaining will be covered by Sushant. Over to you, Sushant.
Thank you, Rajiv. Now, coming on to the next rational belief that is shown in the movie, it's about celebrating the wins. There are many instances in the movie where we can see that a custom is being followed in the company. This custom is basically about ringing the bells whenever the company reaches a particular milestone or completes a goal. The GIF that is currently running shows that when the company reaches a milestone of 2,500 likes on Instagram, they actually do this custom and ring the bell. Comparing this particular custom in the real life, there are many other companies in today's world which actually follows this custom, and this type of custom actually brings the employees together and binds them and motivates them to be more efficient and to deliver more work. Hence, this movie has portrayed this particular belief. Coming on to the last rational belief that this movie has portrayed, it is about dressing to impress. Ben, who has played the role of a senior intern in the movie, is always shown wearing a proper suit and being properly dressed. This scene that is currently being played in the GIF is a scene wherein Ben is getting ready for an interview. Comparing this to the real world, in today's world, what happens is even before we speak, it is about non-verbal communication skill. It is our non-verbal communication skill which actually portrays the majority of what we are. The major part of non-verbal communication skill is about dressing well. This particular movie, and I'll say this particular character, Ben, has portrayed that being dressed as per the occasion and being dressed actually implies what we are within, implies what as a human being we are. And hence, this rational belief has been included in the movie as well. Now, I would like to hand over this presentation to Apoorv. Over to you, Apoorv.
Thank you, Sushant. Now let's have a look on the irrational. Now let's have some look on the irrational beliefs and shown in the movie The Intern. First is excessive work means more success. In the movie The Intern, Jewel Austin, who was the founder of the company, plays the role of a tireless, demanding, and a workaholic character. She started the business from her backyard, and now she is working with more than 200 employees. In the time period of only 18 months, Jules' character is shown doing excessive work, which has led to her success, and during this process, she neglects her health, sleep, and her family, which is promoting the irrational belief with the one that one needs to sacrifice things to gain success. Second one is working women are not good mothers. The second one shows that in the second one, Jules plays the role of a character of a modern, independent, enthusiastic, and a confident entrepreneur. However, she is too passionate about working. Her full-time job is too busy that she often forgets to take care of herself as well as cannot arrange time for the family, especially for her daughter Paige, which somewhere shows that working women are not good mothers. Rest of the irrational beliefs will be carried out by Dhanashri. Over to you, Dhanashri.
Yeah, thank you, Apu. So moving to another irrational belief is inflexibility of the Jules. Inflexibility in the sense, Jules is a owner of a company About the Fit. It's an online retail fashion company. So inflexibility is Jules is so inflexible about hiring a new CEO. She don't want to hire a new CEO for a company because she thinks that hiring a new CEO will be like hiring a boss over her, which she will have to report, which she will have to work under. So she is very hesitant. She don't want to hire a CEO, which I think is inflexible. Flexible because somewhere at some point her company will grow to the extent that there will be a need to hire a CEO. But she's so reluctant to this change. She's so inflexible that might is portraying somewhere irrational belief that you alone can lead the company. So I think that's a irrational belief about this. Next, please. Rigidity of the thoughts. The whole idea of hiring a senior intern at first was Jules' idea, that to hire a senior intern and to run this new program. But when it actually come to implementing that idea to hire a senior intern, she seems to back out. She was asking one of her colleagues that it was just an idea and we don't have to implement it because she has somewhere preconceived belief that hiring an old person or a senior intern is like hiring someone whose knowledge will be not applicable to the modern company or the modern industry. So that is some rigidity in her thoughts that might set her back from applying a new ideas or something like that. So that's one of the irrational beliefs that which we think from the movie is. Now handing over to Gaurav.
Time is up. So 5 minutes, please conclude. Huh?
Okay,
2
ma'am.
minutes. बोला था उसने थोड़ी देर पहले ना.
Okay, ma'am. So thank you. Yes, ma'am. We'll try to. We'll finish it in 5 minutes. Thank you so much, Dhanashri. The learnings from the movie. Approve next slide, please. Yes. So the learnings from the movie that we went through, we find numbers of them. Well, there were a lot of movies. We cherry picked some of them, and let me show you some. So one is. Just a second. Yes. I took him for a kind of buffoon. Now I see he's a devil. So this is basically says that do not underestimate people, whatever you do in your life. And basically, I tried to relate this with our MBA life and with our work culture as well, that we will all go through in the near future. So you'll find this relatable to your in the near future as well. So what happened was Hathaway at first underestimates De Niro. De Niro was a senior intern at 70, and what she can learn from him. She knows she's a young entrepreneur who single-handedly developed a company. So at first she underestimated him, and as the movie went through, she understood the importance of De Niro, right? So just like that, in our life, there are some points that will come through. कि ये क्या बोल रहा है? ये क्या है? इससे तो मैं ज़्यादा जानता हूँ. No, never do that. Trust me. That will be one of the biggest mistakes that you'll ever do. Even if he or she is in a position which is lower than you, try to listen to him or her. Just give it a thought and give it a chance. The next thing is Abu, the next slide, please. Yes, it's one of my favorite quotes from Eleanor Roosevelt. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. No one can understand your dream better than you. Jules, in the film, Jules Austin, in 18 months, she achieved the goals that she thought she would achieve in 5 years. So it's not about how big your dream is, how small your dream is. It's just you take a leap of faith and go ahead with your dreams. And we all have those little dreams within us, little जो इच्छा होता है कि हाँ वो करे, ये काम कर सकते हैं, अगर ये होता तो कैसा लगता छोड़ के let's try to do it. अगर करते हैं तो क्या होता, वो better होगा. Okay, so the next slide, Apurv. Is it visible? Yes. Stay humble, trust your instincts. Most importantly, act. When you come to a fork in the road, take it. It simply means that be humble. You can join a big four, you can join the biggest investment banking company, you can join the top tech companies, you can be the AVP, you can be the VP in the next 5-10 years. You're all wonderful people with great intellects. I see all of us getting placed in good companies as well with high packages. But always remember, the position makes you, it creates an illusion that yes, we have reached the heights, I don't care about anyone. We try to disrespect, not intentionally, comes from here. We try to disrespect. Stay hungry, stay foolish, just as Mr. Job said. And lastly, sorry, it's the fourth one. Approve the next one. Yes. It's not how old you are. It's not how old you are. It's how you are old. This is the biggest learning from the movie itself. Now, De Niro, that is Ben, played an intern who is 70 years old. His wife died. He was all alone. But he didn't give up on his life. Nor did he thought I'll take a retirement. And he had enough money with him. They'll go to Miami and take sunbaths and chill out. No, he didn't. He loved his work. He went back to that same place, that same building actually, where he once worked as a vice president of a company. Now he's went as an intern. See the difference in the positions. So it is never too late something new. In fact, in the film, we saw Ben learning about all the new tricks and tips, like learning LinkedIn, learning how to socialize on the net, learning, how shall I say, urban slangs. He learned all of this from different people. So at every point of life, at every single point of life, every day, try to learn something new. Whatever be the position, whatever be the age, be it someone who is smaller than you, who is someone younger than you, don't ever think that ये मेरे से छोटा है तो मैं इससे क्या सीखूं. नहीं, ये बहुत कुछ सीखने का. मैं अपने भाई से हर कुछ नया सीखता हूँ रोज. So to conclude, this was a wonderful film, and I'd like to thank ma'am for giving us this opportunity. Actually, the six of us took the liberty and saw the film together, and we discussed. It was all-nighter, and we went through. And thank you so much. I want to finish this with a poem. Actually, this poem was it was pointed out by Dhanashri. This was a very wonderful poem. The name of the poem is Not by Erin Hansen. So it goes like this: you are not your age, nor the size of the clothes you wear. You are not a weight or the color of your hair. You are not your name or the dimples in your cheeks. You are all the books you read and all the words you speak. You're the songs you sing so loudly when you know you're all alone. You're the places that you have been to and the one that you call home. You are the thing that you believe in and the people you love. You're the photos in your bedroom and the future you dream of. You are made of so much beauty, but it just seems that you forgot. Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Lovely, beautiful. Please give them a big hand, everybody. Well done, and very a different movie. Many of us, I have not watched this movie, heard about it though, so it gave us very good insights. Definitely would like to watch this movie, and a very strong message it gives. And nicely done, rational belief and irrational beliefs. Audience?
मैम goosebumps आ रहे हैं.
Yes, ma'am. I like the idea.
Gaurav has literally motivated us. Couple of minutes I thought I am listening to Vivek Bindra.
Especially the last poem in the end. It was something else.
Yes.
Yeah, it was too.
Was beautiful. In fact, would love.
Ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. I want to ask Gaurav. Gaurav, did you choose that? Like you all have to wear blazers according to that because that was your movie. Did you plan
No,
that?
see, no, basically, I had this thing when I was in my office. So there was this thing in my bank. You should always be impeccably dressed. It's as simple as that. When you're giving a presentation, it's an MBA college. So sorry, no offense to anyone, but this is my belief.
No, no,
So
no, no,
I
no.
made sure my fellow participants also wear the same. It's just like that.
No, it was nice. I kind of connected it to the movie.
Yes, because it
Ben,
seemed
with
like
Ben.
yeah, it seemed
Like
like that the movie is based on that.
Yes.
Like that to match to that theme, you had selected your dressing. Okay?
Also, ma'am, I like the part where Gaurav was talking about like it's all about leap of faith. Like I had watched one movie. It is an unrelated movie. It is like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So all there Peter Parker talks about all it takes is a leap of faith. That's how it is. So that's the part I really liked.
Yeah, definitely. That's very beautifully. The conclusion was done very beautifully with, first of all the quotes that you had selected, and the last thing was that poem was very, very emotionally kind of unsettling and very, very good. Again, in an emotional state, that motivation that your movie provides, that message, you kind of concluded it very well and put it in our head in a very good way. So thank you for doing
Yes, ma'am. And apart from the Gaurav does a tremendous job. The presentation also has made very well. It connected connected us the whole time.
Yeah.
Yes.
In fact, all
Ma'am, yes, ma'am, the way they put that GIF on every page.
Yes, ma'am, and all the rational and irrational beliefs were quite well observed. Like Sushant said, that dress to impress, it shows very good observational skills.
yeah, because see, these all things, the rational irrational beliefs is something on that basis. You will not even find articles or anything. This is all done by you all. Like, this is very original work. Like Gaurav said now, that we all watched the movie together. So this goes for all the presentations till now. Like, it's very heartwarming for me to see this, that it's not that you have taken it just as another presentation where you put things together, but you all have really taken the effort to watch the movie, to analyze it, and did a fabulous job out of it. So that is something is very impressive and very heart touching actually.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
everyone.
Which group would like to go next? We'll take up one more group, and baki ka group will do.
Ma'am, can we go?
Rishabh, your group?
Yes.
Okay. And everybody stay on camera. Okay, before I forget, all of you, you need to send me a mail. One of the team members need to send me an email with the topic, the title and the email subject line, with all the group members names in the email body, and attach the presentation and mark a copy to all the others. सबको CC होना चाहिए. जितना भी members have presentation में आपके साथ group में, उनको CC होना चाहिए, और mail should be marked to me. One of the team members can do that. Okay, with all the names of the participants also in the mail also. सिर्फ PPT में तो होगा, पर email में भी नाम लिखो, आपके group members कौन है सारे. ठीक है? Okay, who will keep time here? Dharmit?
Yes, ma'am.
Camera
Yes.
on you. I'm going to call out names of people जो camera पे नहीं है थोड़ी देर में, so please come back, all of you. Dharmit 15 मिनट. हाँ
20 मिनट ना 8 जने हम लोग.
हाँ ठीक है 20 मिनट.
Hello, ma'am. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. Next slide, please. Next slide, Virender. Yeah, so these are our group members. Me, Rajvi, Nimit, Rishabh, Pranali, Saksham, Sudhanshu, and Virender. Next slide. So this movie, Chichore, is a action romance drama movie which was directed by Mr. Nitesh Tiwari. So this movie revolves around a life of 6 friends who reunite after many years in the time of crisis. So in this movie, the main lead, Sushant Singh Rajput, named aka Ani, and his ex-wife Shraddha Kapoor, they have a child named Raghav who, who commits suicide after he failed to crack the engineering entrance exam. So due to which Sushant Singh Rajput world comes crashing down after his son attempts to kill himself post failing to clear an exam. So Ani sends a distress call to his closest buddy from his engineering days. So together with his ex-wife, that is Shraddha Kapoor Maya, and his buddies, he walks down the memory lane and narrates to his son how they were the gang of loser who would always put the brave chin up in every tough situation. Next slide. So the moral of the story which we get through this movie was to enjoy the life, enjoy the journey of our life without worrying about the destination. And suicide is not a solution for any problem. Next slide, over to you, Saksham.
Thank you, Aditya. So moving on to the rational behavior. So the first rational dialogue of the movie is, हम हार जीत सक्सेस फेलियर में इतना उलझ गए हैं कि जिंदगी जीना भूल गए हैं. जिंदगी में अगर कुछ सबसे ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है तो वो खुद की ज़िंदगी. The meaning that this dialogue portrays is that first the dialogue is said by Anni, that is Anirudh, that is Sushant Singh Rajput. So the meaning that this dialogue portrays is that we are so entangled with the success and failures of our lives that we forget to live the life itself. Life is larger than success or failure. If we internalize this, then nothing can shake us. So, actually, we should never stop having fun, no matter how involved we are actually in our professional lives. It's always important to refresh ourselves and have a bit of fun, as this can only keep you rejuvenated enough for our next course of action. So, over to you, Nimit.
थैंक यू सक्षम. नेक्स्ट डायलॉग इज, दूसरों से हारकर लूजर कहलाने से कहीं ज्यादा बुरा है खुद से हारकर लूजर कहलाना. दिस डायलॉग इज सेड बाय अन्नी in the movie to his hostel mates because they are not ready to participate in grand championship because of the fear of losing. After listening these lines, they all ready to participate. And in real life also, there are many people who don't even participate because of the fear of losing. So this line is the inspiration of those people also. The next point is carried forward by Pranali.
थैंक यू निमित. सो नेक्स्ट डायलॉग इज, तुम्हारा रिजल्ट डिसाइड नहीं करता है कि तुम लूजर हो कि नहीं, तुम्हारी कोशिश डिसाइड करती है. So before this GC competition happened, no one was even bothered even their hostel won or not. But Anirudh motivated everyone and told everyone that we should at least try. By which they tried and they just lost by 1 or 2 points. Over to you, Rajvi.
थैंक यू प्रणाली. सो द नेक्स्ट डायलॉग इज, सच्चे दोस्त वही होते हैं जो अच्छे वक्त में आपकी बजाते हैं और मुश्किल वक्त पे वही छिछोरे आपके दरवाजे पे खड़े नजर आते हैं. दिस लाइन मीन्स दैट there are like true friends who tease you a lot when your time is great, and when the tough time comes, these are the same friends who stand at your door. Chichore is a film where this is a rational belief where they are focused on a true friendship, and it which plays a very important role in your life. It even means that in your college life you find that important friendship who holds on to you for your whole lifetime. Like, these are the friends who tease you when you at your good times, who have fun with you during your lectures. But these are the same friends who stand by you when you have downfall in your life, and they never leave your hand no matter what. Like, in this film, they have the friendship even after they grow old, and like when Raghav commits suicide, Anirudh's college friends come and like they stand by. The next point will be explained by Aditya. Over to you, Aditya. Thank you.
Okay, so this line
सक्सेस के बाद का प्लान सबके पास है, लेकिन अगर गलती से फेल हो गए तो फेलियर से कैसे डील करना है इसकी कोई बात नहीं करता. So this was an impactful line. Within the slide. So this was an impactful line during that movie, क्योंकि ये सब लोग जानते हैं कि फेल होने के बाद कोई कुछ बोलता नहीं है. फेल होने के बाद सब लोग यही सिचुएशन में रहते कि क्या करे. सक्सेस के बाद सब लोग का प्लानिंग रहता है. एंड सुशांत सिंह राजपूत मूवी में एक बोलता है कि देयर आर 10 lakh students who appear for the exam and 10,000 passes through it, but what about the 9,90,000 students who gave that exam? So we should have a plan. चाहे कुछ भी हो एग्जाम में, their parents should stand to with their बच्चों को क्या बोलते हैं बच्चे. Okay, next point over to you, Vijender.
Thank you, Aditya. So now we'll be moving towards irrational beliefs. So first one is Anirudh never tried to understand his son's stress. Like I just wanted to relate this with an example. Day before the results, Anirudh brings champagne bottle for his son to celebrate. He knew that his son will be going to an hostel and he will be topping the chart in college, and he just created an unknowingly pressure on his son. So which is one of the irrational behavior. So second will be continued by Rajvi.
Thank you, Virender. The second irrational belief is when Anirudh tries to pursue his love interest, he did so in a stalkerish way. That is bad to pursue someone. Firstly, I'd like to say that stalking behaviors are interrelated to harassment and may also include following the victim in person or monitoring them. Stalking at some state is considered as a criminal offense too, as it includes interference in someone's private space. Stalking is often mistaken by love, but it is not love. Stalking can lead to an obsessive behavior of a person, and if it grows very high, it can even result in some criminal activity. And I strongly feel that relationships are built on trust, and the foundation of the relationship is built via trust. But in this movie, it is shown that Anirudh is stalking. It's just shown in a part of a song where he is following her and stalking her, which I feel is completely irrational, because if he loves her, then he should try to go and talk to her and trust her. Thank you. The next point will be explained by Saksha.
Thank you, Rajvi. So the next irrational dialogue was the constant use of abuse by acid also promotes a bad behavior in the masses. So there is a character which is played by Naveen Polishetty as aka as acid, who used to abuse more than which is needed in every sentence of the line. That in my thinking is not good, and also promotes an aggressive behavior. So this is considered to be irrational in my opinion. So over to you, Nimit.
The next point is sexiest comment by Seksha 2 is setting a bad precedent to the masses. Seksha gives a lot of comments in the whole movie, which does not have a good impact on the viewers. It also creates an awkward situation for viewers who are watching movie with their family and respected ones, and also doesn't give a good impact on the children who are less than 16. The next slide is carried forward by Sudhanshu.
So let's see what the reviewers have to say about the movie. Film Companion made a comment about the movie, a solid homegrown college movie for the ages. But apart from this, the Film Companion also pointed out all the sexist thing and all the male jingoism that movie tried to show. So Hindustan Times said relevant film with important message. Hindustan Times mostly praised the movie about how it tried to portray the situation among the masses, that the movie is showing all the contemporary problems that we are currently facing or the students face in their day-to-day lives. Times of India highlighted as high on friendship. Movie is mostly based on male friendship, and the movie portray friendship as a big thing in this movie. Tried and refused production said hilarious, heartbreaking, and inspiring. It shows told the emotions about the movie, what we felt during watching the movie in theaters. That's that from our side.
Thank you, Sudhanshu. This is a comparison between Three Idiots and Chichore. One thing that is common in Three Idiots and Chichore that they are focusing on engineering student, while Three Idiots focused more on the career aspect of the main characters. Chichore dealt with the world outside the wall of its classroom. Yet there is one more thing common that is a rival. Both movies have done exceptional performance, so it is hard to choose between the two. If I had to choose between the two, it would be Chichore. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little biased here. I repeat, Three Idiot is an amazing movie, but Chichore is close to my heart because of Sushant Singh Rajput. While watching Chichore in the theaters, the movie gripped me in every sense. The movie teaches you how to celebrate failure in a world that doesn't know how to deal with one. The performance being so good that I almost felt like I was a part of their hostel life. Over to you, Viren.
Also, I'd like to add something to the comparison. While Chichore talks about the suicide and all the contemporary issues faced by the students, Chichore also emphasizes on the relationship between the parents of the child, how it may affect the child unknowingly or knowingly. So in that regard, Chichore is much more nuanced to the contemporary situation we are currently living in. Next will be by Virendra.
Thank you, Rishabh. So basically, now we will move towards a conclusion. Like I would like to sum up the movie. So the movie has given us the beautiful message, and it was the leading actor in this was late Shri Sushant Singh Rajput. We miss you, brother. And we have seen in this movie as Raghav was taking unnecessary pressure on himself, and he thought the last resort for this will be suicide. Suicide is not a last resort. As ma'am was saying into the last lecture, many of us were under pressure before the presentation. So also I was under pressure or nervous before the presentation. Guys, I would request everyone, we should never let our performance down just because of the pressure. Uh, Also, one of the dialogue in the movie, as Saksham said, तुम्हारा रिजल्ट डिसाइड नहीं करता कि तुम पास हो या फेल, तुम्हारी कोशिश डिसाइड करती है. As Raghav has input so much of day and night, he was trying to study hard. He did not get succeed. So success के बाद तो सबके पास plans हैं. So what if success नहीं हुआ, failure हुआ? So failure के plans कहाँ हैं? So I would like to request each one of you, just go with the flow. Do not take unnecessary pressure. There are your friends and family with us. If you are in under pressure, if we should share with someone so that we should take good step ahead. So just don't grind yourself and do not take unnecessary pressure. Thank you.
Please give them a big hand, everybody. Wonderfully explained. In fact, this movie is very close to my heart also. I mean, it's amazing, and I totally agree with Rishabh. For me, Chichore is better than Three Idiots. There's a lot of things. Yes, of course, it's unfortunate that the person who acted this such a powerful role and gave such a beautiful message is no more with us. That's the very unfortunate thing. Yeah. Even other than that, this movie has very strong points. The one important point that you all have mentioned very well, that yes, what about plan B? What about failure? Is failure not a part and parcel of our life? It is. It happens to everybody. Why we are so much scared of failure? And it's going to happen. More than 7 billion people on this world, shared resources. It is going to happen. It's not that in the very first shot we will succeed. So it's a part and parcel, failure, rejection. And this movie very beautifully explains it. And even at the end, that they show that they don't show that they won it. The ones who had practiced more or more talented, they won it, the game still. So what? That doesn't define them. What defines them is the effort that they put in. In fact, I take the soft skills and interpersonal skill sessions in corporate also. I do a lot of corporate training, and one of the areas that we focus on is appreciating the effort. So we work with managers and how the people managers who manage people and teams. So these teams, when you manage, one of the major areas is appreciating the effort of team members. Not only when they achieve something, they achieve the end goal, they've started to achieve that goal, of course, but they have put the efforts, you can see it, then appreciate them. You don't have to wait till an achievement that they make, because putting in effort is also an achievement. So this beautiful message that this movie brings out, I think more beautiful was the presentation where they actually brought out this idea very well. Audience, any inputs?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, also, it's in the end of the movie, it showed that Raghav was going to college. It showed that that from his failure he has learned to remain happy. It didn't show that what course he was going for or in which department he was. It showed that he has learned to be happy.
Yes. Whatever works for him and whatever was the next option. Or in fact, there are a number of TV series also these days that bring out this idea. The concept of having a plan B. Okay, if this doesn't work, what is my plan B? My plan C. Alternatives. Yes. Anybody else?
And the comparison they got in, like now when we see the actual comparison, I'm getting to know that Three Idiots was fully on fun basing, and that is why a bit of irrational moments were more in that movie. And Shishore is fully like giving you life lessons that suicide is not the only option. So now after doing the comparison, it really feels like Three Idiots was much more of irrational, and Shishore is something that gives us the more rational beliefs.
Yes, yes. And but you can also see the era, the time at which both the movies came out. Three Idiots came in जब उस जमाने में ऐसी मूवी बनाने की कोई हिम्मत नहीं करता था.
Yes.
बस ऐसी मूवी चलती नहीं थी, उसको एक सेकंड क्लास अलग पैरेलल सिनेमा बोला जाता था, जहां आप रियलिटी बताते हो. तो इसीलिए वो फन एलिमेंट, दैट इरेशनलिटी, वो बताना बहुत जरूरी हो जाता था बॉलीवुड में. तो उन्होंने इनिशिएट किया, तो उस लेवल पे दे कुड नॉट टेक दैट रिस्क ऑफ मेकिंग इट मोर रियलिस्टिक. बट इन टुडेज एरा this situation has changed, so they are in a position that they could show and still there would be acceptance. आज की डेट में पैरेलल सिनेमा और मेन स्ट्रीम सिनेमा का जो बाउंड्री है काफी मेल्ट हो गया, जो पहले नहीं.
I'm also छिछोरे मूवी में एक सिनेरियो आता है कि जैसे कि अगर हम लोग को कुछ जीतना है तो हम लोग को कोई एक अपनी पसंदीदा चीज छोड़नी होगी. So someone quit smoking, someone quit some daru and all that. So they show that how passionate they are. And the one thing which is common between these two movies is that all those useless love interest wala छोटा छोटा point which was common, I believe. So वो तो रहता ही है, बॉलीवुड है, कुछ कर नहीं सकते.
रिस्क नहीं लेना होता है, because see love interest और love and emotion, love is also an emotion, romance is an area जहाँ पे मूवीज बननी चाहिए, पर हर जगह जबरदस्ती उसका होना जो हमारा बॉलीवुड एक ट्रेंड समझता है और डर लगता है उनको कि ये नहीं लाएंगे तो नहीं चलेगी मूवी. Maybe that is
and ma'am, also to be very honest, I really appreciate the decision of taking the movie this film. I think if we go through newspapers, at least मेरे तो नजर में आता ही है कि हर alternative day में there is some suicide that is happening in West Bengal, in Maharashtra, in Punjab, everywhere all across India, and this sort of film is, I think, very much needed, at least to let the youth know that there is so much to life, and it was wonderfully presented.
Very well presented.
Thank you.
Very
Yes,
well. The
yes,
way I think the conviction in the voice of Virender, Rishabh, Sudhanshu, Saksham, Nimit was also there, right? So the conviction
Yes.
with which they were speaking, that was amazing. I just love
It shows that they believe in the message as well. It's wonderfully presented.
Strongly वो
Thank you so
believe
much.
था कि
Thank you, everyone.
इतना चूज किया है वो कन्विक्शन के साथ. वो कन्विक्शन वाज अपेरेंट इन योर वॉइसेस. या
Ma'am, but the relationship, what they show is quite important for this movie, na? Like family dynamics is quite important for this movie to work.
Yeah, because it's about the son. Yes, it's
Yeah.
not so that they have a divorce. I mean, they do not have the
They-
divorce. They will have.
Yes, living separate.
Yeah. In this movie, Sudhanshu, yes, the relationship angle was important because आगे जाके वो उनका बच्चा ही है जिसके बारे में story.
Yes, ma'am.
In this
Yes,
movie,
ma'am.
that angle was important. और उसको ज्यादा भी उन्होंने नहीं बताया है. If you
Yes, ma'am.
इतना ज्यादा उसको वो नहीं किया जैसे बाकी सारी मूवीज में जबरदस्ती करते हैं और बहुत स्ट्रेच.
Running to the ground, ma'am.
But I also love the way you all brought out that irrational part also, which is right. जो again ये आज के ट्रेंड के challenges है कि हमको लगता है कि वो मूवी बनाने वालों को लगता है कि अगर abusive language ज्यादा नहीं डालेंगे तो नहीं चलेगी मूवी, maybe because it was not needed. What they have shown, what you have very rightly pointed out, the two characters जिनको बताना था आपको बताते आप, पर उसको थोड़ा stretch हुआ है. उसकी इतनी जरूरत नहीं थी जो आप लोगों ने बहुत अच्छे से निकाला. Even that Rajvi talked about the stalking wala angle, which is again
Yeah, he was talking like he was following her.
Yeah, that following stalking wala thing, which in many Bollywood movies, if you see barso se, it is considered normal. कि भाई if you like a girl, you can stalk her, and that is a way of showing your love, which is not a very helpful thing because it kind of takes away the privacy right of the other individual. सामने वाले के पीछे आप जबरदस्ती स्टॉक करते हो. So what if you love her as if you will like give your life for that person, even if you love her that much, still you don't have the right to stalk her without her permission. Right? So वो एक चीज है जो हमारी बॉलीवुड मूवी में से जाना चाहिए because उसको एक बहुत जबरदस्ती से एक acceptable form माना जाता है. In many movies they have shown that. Totally agree. So that was very well done. कि वो मूवी में से भी irrational निकालना छिछोरे में से भी was difficult because it's quite a rational approach to the movie making. Okay. So कितना group अभी रह गया है? Which groups are left yet?
Ma'am, group number 8.
Akhil, your group, and दूसरा कौन?
Ma'am, group number 2.
प्रणाली बी एंड अखिल, आप दोनों का ग्रुप है जो हम नेक्स्ट टाइम लेंगे. एंड आई थिंक उसके
Okay,
आगे
ma'am.
होना चाहिए एक और ग्रुप. एंड उसके पहले आई नीड द सिंग सॉन्ग्स. उसके बिना एंड नहीं होने वाला है. मार्क्स किसको नहीं मिलने वाला है. तो मेरे को सॉन्ग सुनने हैं ग्रुप वाइज. कौन सा ग्रुप स्टार्ट करेगा बताओ मुझे. That is the way you give tribute to the movie that you have selected and you have presented so well. So कौन सा ग्रुप स्टार्ट करेगा बताओ. Everybody come on camera. चलो.
Why don't you join us? क्योंकि हम लोग के सबके आवाज सुन के तो
Yes, ma'am.
सबके ईयरफोन्स फूटने वाले मैम.
मेरा भी ऐसा ही है. Like I don't have a very good voice in
Because everyone is down with cold and flu. सबके आवाज बैठ गए मैम. क्यों आप ये सब ये टॉर्चर हो रहा है मैम अभी.
मैम एक्चुअली सॉन्ग का बाद में कर लो ना. एक्चुअली कोल्ड सोर की वजह से पूरा गला खराब
Yes,
है.
ma'am.
तो नेक्स्ट वीक में मुझे सब लोग ये हम एक राउंड रखेंगे जहां एवरी ग्रुप विल सिंग और जो बंदा एब्सेंट रहा नेक्स्ट सेशन में उसके 0 मार्क्स. ये ध्यान रखो. ये मैसेज
नेक्स्ट सेशन में श्योरली.
नेक्स्ट सेशन
Yes,
में
ma'am.
ग्रुप
हाँ मैम.
गोइंग टू सिंग. ओके ना.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
2 प्रेजेंटेशन है और मे बी 3 प्रेजेंटेशन. ओनली 2 प्रेजेंटेशन. और कोई ग्रुप नहीं है.
मैम 2 ही ग्रुप बचा है.
ठीक है. तो ये दोनों
मैम लास्ट में जो आपने वो बनाए थे ना ब्रेकआउट रूम्स वगैरह, वो प्रेजेंटेशन अभी रह रही है.
वो प्रेजेंटेशन बाकी है बिकॉज वो हमारा एक सबसे लास्ट एक्टिविटी है. मेरे को एक और राउंड करना है उसका जिसमें हम इम्प्रॉम्प्टू प्रेजेंटेशंस करने वाले हैं. सो लेट्स सी ये कैसे प्रेजेंटेशंस खत्म होते हैं एंड बेस्ड ऑन दैट वो आगे वाला करेंगे बिकॉज वी हैव 2+2 4 सेशंस है हमारे. तो वो वी विल प्लान इट दैट एंड एवरीबॉडीज अटेंडेंस इसके बाद में जितने भी सेशंस है उसमें होनी चाहिए. प्लीज बी देयर ऑल द टाइम. ओके. सो मुझे एटलीस्ट आपकी शक्ल पता चले. जिन लोगों की शक्ल याद नहीं है ना वो लोग प्लीज अपनी शक्ल दिखाओ. जैसे राजवी, अनुभव और कौन कौन है जिन लोग की शक्ल मैंने नहीं ज्यादा देखी नहीं है. प्रणाली. हाँ ये शक्ल थोड़ी मुझे याद रहेगी अगर ज्यादातर कैमरा पे रहोगे. बाकी लोग जो है देयर आर लॉट ऑफ पीपल और ऑलवेज देयर लाइक आदित्य, लाइक आकृति, प्रभमीत, गौरव, साइली, निशा, शिवम. गुड. दे आर देयर. उनकी शक्ल एकदम अच्छे से पता है मुझे. सुशांत ऑफ कोर्स, राजीव, गौरव, बाकी लेकिन कुछ कुछ लोग हैं जिनका शक्ल मुझे नहीं पता है, तो शक्ल प्लीज थोड़ा अपना दिखाओ क्लास में। जितनी बार अभी सेशन बाकी है, बहुत कम सेशंस बाकी है, 4 ही बच्चे हैं, तो चारों में प्लीज बी देयर ऑल द टाइम ऑन कैमरा। ठीक है ना?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so thank you so much for the lovely presentations. You have
Thank you,
definitely
ma'am.
exceeded my expectations. I love the way you brought out those messages. Let's continue with the remaining 2 presentations and conclude with the song.
मैम मेल कब तक करना है आपको?
मेल आप लोग का ग्रुप का प्रेजेंटेशन के बाद करो, जिनका हो गया है ना वो लोग कर दो मुझे, प्रेजेंटेशन
Okay,
के
ma'am.
बाद करना है आपको। ठीक है? So
Okay,
Akhil
ma'am.
and Pranali, your groups का जब प्रेजेंटेशन नेक्स्ट क्लास हो जाएगा ना, then also
Okay,
stay
ma'am,
ready
sure.
with you're ready with the presentation ना, because we might arrange an extra session in between.
Sure, ma'am.
उसमें फिर हम presentations ले लेंगे। Okay then, bye. Have a great week ahead and see
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you, 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 ma'am.